Everybody is on your side.
How about it, counselor? You concur.
Got tipping sticks.
This is a breakdown of Breaking Bad Season 3, Episode 2.
Caballo sin nombre.
Which means... which isn't even the best song in the episode. This is the famous pizza episode, but it also might be the best evidence of Saul being the true driving force behind Breaking Bad. I'll highlight that plus 30 details you might not know, including new ones based on your comments. Back there are the Breaking Bad production studios and the Mesa del Sol water tower right next to it. If you look very closely, you can see the cameraman reflected rather than the police officer.
Your windshield.
Jesse tried to warn you.
This was from Wayfarer 515.
Regardless of how that windshield was damaged, this car is unsafe to drive in this condition. Stay in the car, please.
I can get out of my own car.
Sir, listen.
No. You listen to me.
A Horse with No Name is sung by America, so this line has extra meaning.
This is
Calm
America,
down and get back in that
I have
car right
rights.
now. Step back
there were
right
body
now.
parts in my yard.
You got about 2 seconds to stand down, or I'm going to pepper spray.
Oh, you're going to pepper spray?
You understand
perfect. That is just perfect.
Someone hit him. Talking to driver, 9 illegals.
This shot from the last episode shows that besides the driver, there were 10 people killed.
You ask me, this is high-end cartel work. Gomi, go beat your pinata.
Come on, Hank.
Hey, what's up, Walt?
Jesse?
You're selling the place.
In this market. Can you believe it?
This is a real company over on Manal, unlike the fictional.
Tampico Furniture over Manal.
You moved the garage.
This is a strange line, but the garage actually was moved at the house used for exterior shots, although here you can barely see it.
New tiles in the bathrooms and kitchens, granite countertops.
And this enables the set they'll use for the interior from now on to not have to match the original house.
Think I can get a tour?
These guys are trying to finish up. Maybe we better stay out of their way. There are pictures on the website if you want to take a look.
Ouch, that's pretty cold, Mr. Pinkman.
You know, I could come by sometime for dinner or something.
Yeah. Sometime.
Ouch again.
Officer, I'm very sorry that I lost my temper. She's divorcing me.
It is what it is.
That's a strange response.
She doesn't want me to see the kids.
She said that?
I do believe this is an intentional parallel to the pilot.
You don't write, you don't call?
It's a disaster.
If she blabs, it'll be a disaster. For her, that DEA brother-in-law, screwed. The house, gone. It's not gonna happen. She's bluffing, and she knows it.
Going to the police is not the point, Saul. She's out of my life. Do you understand?
It's a calamity, but we live to fight another day.
We survive and we overcome.
There are other fish in the sea. I mean, you'll be just amazed at what's out there. Thailand, Czech Republic, I mean, those women are so grateful to even be here. You get back on the horse and do what you do best. Get cooking.
Here's a very rare serious Saul moment. He's worried about Skyler, although it's also a cool moment to think about his Jimmy McGill backstory if you've seen Better Call Saul.
The ice cream man!
Here's the debut of one of the Kayleys.
Don't tell your mom.
Yeah.
It's me. We may have a wife problem.
Mike was simply going to answer the call at a bar, but they invented Kaylee here originally as a throwaway character. This episode supposedly takes place in April 2009, but the newspaper's from May. To add more digits to the website, they just slapped some numbers on an image because that doesn't match last season's site, plus that is not Internet Explorer. And even though they removed the logo and icons, we can see that Junior upgraded from Windows XP to Windows Vista.
If you're hungry, I could rustle something up.
Look who's annoyed with Junior's website obsession now. His computer's not plugged in. Perhaps this is for spare parts and his active computer's under his desk? Here's our introduction to Blake's Lottaburger.
What? I've had enough trans fat for one lifetime.
This is a missed opportunity for Marie to finally get some Chinese takeout.
Flynn here is looking for a part-time job.
My name's Walter Jr. Like, what, you can't even say his name? Dad didn't even show up till 4th period. And his eyes were all red like he's been crying or something.
Although Walt Jr. and Jesse never meet, he's able to channel him here.
Why you gotta be such a bitch?
Hey, no.
Hank,
You can't talk to your mom.
Hank.
I know it's none of my business, but keep them off from the kids.
You're right, Hank. It's none of your business.
The day I heard the word second cell phone, I know. Do the math, Marie. Only comes out one way.
If he cheated on her, then she would have told me by now. It just feels like something more.
You know what's giving me heartburn lately? Your former partner. Talent like that, and he flushes it down the crapper. It's like Michelangelo won't paint.
Or watching Miles Davis give up the trumpet.
You wouldn't talk to him, would you?
You want a job?
That's really cute. That's a cool entrance. Aha, the connection to these men is revealed. So these are the cousins.
My cousins are driving up here.
And welcome back Hector, who we haven't seen since last season's 3rd episode. Can you believe that Hector's only in 8 episodes of Breaking Bad? Hey, where'd the 2 games on top go? I love how Holly rejects Ted.
I can't sign off on these quarterlies. I'm sorry. If you're gonna do this, it can't be so glaring.
She's pointing with her ringless ring finger. That's gotta be intentional.
I don't even know what to say.
Oh wait, that might not be what Ted's looking at.
What if your kids found out?
She doesn't want to ask Walt, so she asks Ted as a proxy.
That whatever I did thinking of them.
Lewis dropped him off. He was here when I got home. No, of course. No, he's not staying. He understands that.
She's just trying to keep me from seeing you. Everybody is on your side.
It's not about taking sides.
The root beer Walt gave him is called Blue Sky. I wonder if that's Wendy's favorite brand.
I'll take you home. Let me first just hit the old bathroom here.
That's hilarious that he thinks this will make a difference. There's a nice shot of Marco's ring, Saul's Rolex that may or may not be fake, and some on-brand cufflinks.
You're not that lawyer on late night television, are you?
Better call Saul.
We're here to discuss the sale of the property at 9809 Margot.
I represent a client who shall remain. This individual wants to buy your house today for cash.
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 I know, in this economy. You could ask Mr. Gardner. I've shown him all the pertinent financials.
Saul must have forged those financials.
There's just one little hair in the soup, the price.
We feel $875 is very fair.
But I suppose there's always a little wiggle room.
Once you wiggle us on down to 400, and you got yourselves a deal.
With that price, is Jesse trying to honor their original deal?
We split it 50-50. That was the deal.
What do you think?
How could you possibly imagine that we would entertain this?
I just thought some allowance was in order once I heard about the meth lab.
I feel like here we see some Jimmy McGill.
Oh, you got your termite inspection. That's good. But no meth lab. I could file a suit and encumber this property indefinitely. I don't think any of us want that. Now, do we? How about it, counselor? Do you concur?
Saul loves his colorful references, so this could be a Catch Me If You Can reference.
You concur?
Time for the pizza scene. I feel like they shot this after because that sure looks like sauce splatter on the driveway, and that looks like they cleaned the roof where it was. Whoops, you can see the crane used for the roof shots.
Oh, hey.
Hello?
Pizza.
Well, I'm making dinner.
I'll just put it in the fridge. It's even better the next day.
Hi, honey.
Can't we at least just sit down and eat a piece of pizza together?
I thought I made myself very clear.
You've got dipping sticks.
Bryan did that on the first try. They tried to get additional takes just in case, but he couldn't do it again. The homeowner recently shared new behind-the-scenes photos, and we can see they had about 16 pizzas standing by. The pizza in this shot is different from the one he threw. It has more pepperoni and is closer to the edge. The dipping sticks landed behind the front driver's side tire, but now they've magically disappeared. It looks like they didn't repeat the mistake from last season and actually put up a Negro Royal Lane street sign. The irony is that this time it's too small to read. Walt drowns his sorrows in beer, Blake's Lotaburger, and popcorn.
I saw a pizza on our roof. Would you know anything about that? I will get a restraining order.
He didn't really hit his head.
Restrain this!
That's Walt bringing back a classic.
Wipe down this!
Breaking even's not so bad. Breaking bad.
Wait, hold up. Not cool, Mr. Pinkman.
Poor Jake. He had his heart set on going to space camp.
God, this is all we need.
Jesse, the house has been sold. The new owners are expected at any moment. Where do you think you're going?
Inside. Bought the place.
Like father, like son.
Wiggle room? Wiggle room?
And that's the last time we see the Pinkmans in this series. We should be able to see Mike's car parked here. Also, the street sign is back to saying Piermont Drive, the real-life location. It's funny that Walt left his hatchback open while he takes a shower. Walt's back to singing A Horse with No Name, ending the episode like it began.
It's me. There's something you should know about.
This is our first indication that Mike's connected to Gus. And even in an emergency, Mike calls Victor rather than Gus directly. So I guess this part of what Saul was saying was the truth.
I called the guy who called the guy who called the guy.
The eyeball jumped from the pants to the shirt, but the cousin certainly could have moved it again. This is a redo of the original video, so here were the channel members at the time. All of you fit on a roof pizza, and now's the perfect time to use the exclusive unsliced pizza emoji in your comments. The new members who had just joined at the time were Unfortunate, Irate Axolotl, Chemo, Purple Fury 3412, Swarming Languendo, Austin Nathan, and Neodymium. If you're watching this through the Breaking Bad Hidden Details playlist, next up is the Juan Bolsa episode. And some other stuff goes down, in the infamous IFT. Otherwise, the next new video will be the premiere of Better Call Saul Hidden Details Season 2 in just over a week.
Pepper spray me, huh? Of course, that's your answer to everything. Pepper spray the man who's expressing his opinion under the First Amendment. Oh!
You don't write, you don't call?
What the hell are you doing here?
Whoa! What's with the eyes? Can I make a suggestion? Visine. You know, you need to learn to pick up a phone. I had to hire my PI to track you down again. Frankly, I'm tempted to bill you this time.
What do you want, Saul?
Just checking on my business partner, seeing where we stand. So, as our Yiddish brethren say, new, have you been in touch with our friend?
I met with him, yes.
Well, don't keep me in suspense. How'd it go? Does he want more product?
Oh, yeah.
Yes! Jesus.
I told him it's over.
What?
I'm done.
No. It's not even close to over. What, you don't consult with me? What are you thinking, man?
It's over, Saul. That's all you need to know.
Oh, why? Because your wife kicked you to the curb?
Who told you that?
Nobody had to tell me, okay? I can smell it. This place stinks, a pathetic bastard. You think I don't get it. You see, I get it, okay? I've been here myself. I mean this place, literally. This is where every middle-aged washout ends up when his wife gives him the boot. 3 marriages. You think I haven't been here? The Beachcomber Apartments, last stop on the loser train.
It's my business.
Hey, your business is my business. I'm here because I care. Talk to your lawyer. Remember what we went through to get this thing going in the first place. Blood, sweat, and tears. So my thinking is that you call our friend and apologize. You know, tell him you went off half-cocked. You know, grovel a little. You know, tail between the legs or not. It's your choice. But we can still pull our chestnuts out of the fire. Whoa. Look, why would you let personal problems get in the way of professional success, okay? It makes no sense. Look, when somebody kicks you in the balls, you don't chop off your own arm. Why are you doing this? Damn it.